I like how the ones making the dad jokes are the only three that aren't dead.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah,
Just practice.
which is probably why
We're gonna kill it one day.
probably why we're the only three here right now.
100%.
Must be something to that. It's
Yeah,
like
my dog
being a dad is a
tore up
full-time
that.
job.
Oh yeah, my dog was tore up too when I left.
All right, so I feel like we touched on the mushroom stuff pretty good. You getting into your how many turkey seasons are you in? 2 or 3?
This year, for me actually going out, this would probably be my 3rd.
Okay. So I've been like as much of a turkey hunter as you can say someone who jumps into a pool a couple times a year, a swimmer. Like that's probably the best way that I can just say how I am as a turkey hunter. Now I've had a lot of luck. Like I had a really good, it was a decade-long streak of getting a turkey every single year here in Ohio, and a couple out-of-state birds. But what I've learned over the past 3 years, with my own mistakes, and then looking back on what I've learned about turkey in general, hopefully we can have a little conversation here about stuff that I've seen recently in the past couple of years, to where I can help you, and hopefully things play out over the next couple of weeks where you and I can get on a couple hunts together. So
That'd be cool.
Touching on when we were out mushroom hunting this morning, we were down in southern Ohio, and we got there, what was it? It was probably 6:10, 6:15, and we're like, we're gonna hear gobbles. We are gonna hear gobbles. And I was like, also in the back of my mind, like, it's humid, it rained last night, it doesn't set up perfectly for it to be a good gobbling morning, but there's a lot of hills down there. So like, well, as long as we get on top of a ridge or somewhere where sound can echo around just a bit, maybe we can hear one, which we didn't. 0 gobbles this morning, and I could tell that kind of took the wind out of Casey's sail. Like I'm trying to really steer her into the, like, turkey hunting is still fun, even though you haven't gotten one yet. There's a lot of fun to be had, and I can tell that kind of beat her up just a bit. But as we were leaving, not the property that we have permission on, but it was one property north, and the one that we have on for permission is a cattle farm. The one north is an ag farm, and the farmer had just tilled a bunch of his land. So as we were driving out, heading north, there was a bunch of turkey out in that field, and Casey stopped, and we were looking at them in the car and stuff, and she's like, why are they here and not there? Simple answer. The dirt's tilled, so all the bugs are exposed. Mm-hmm. So that brought those turkey one property north with them. We had sign where we were at, but they were eating the bugs, and it was a nice morning, but it's also very humid, and they're not going to gobble that much on a day like today. So something for you is that just because you have sign in one spot, turkey are very, very dependent on what's going on with the land, and something that we've learned over the past couple of years is that they could be in the area, but they make shifts very quickly, where deer are a lot slower to shift. They will, like this time of year, they're not going to be in their breeding areas, and the does are going to be in a different spot because they're starting to think about, well, now they're feeding for 2, plus they're going to be dropping their fawns in the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So
6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, so they're going to be in a different spot as well, and there's a lot of vegetation growth that's going on right now that's not only affecting the deer but changing everything. So
I just need a food plot full of bugs.
The closest thing you could get to a food plot is a tilled field for turkeys.
Yeah,
a fresh tilled field is like, that's the closest thing you can.
I'm just gonna hike in the woods with a pocket full of crickets and just go to town.
You'll go to jail.
They were there before I got here.
Are you hearing this, DNR?
Cricket. So, and we've seen this happen in the past on a couple of different properties. That turkeys make that big change just because of what's going on properties around them. So there's a property that we were on last year that had a grass fire 2 properties over from where we were hunting. And that was thick with turkey, real thick. This year, as I've been scouting it, little thin, real thin. So just watching those things make changes, and as you're out there going through properties, whether it's public or stuff that you have permission on, don't just like, I'm going to go to this spot and look, or I'm going to go to this spot and listen. As you're walking, take note of what's going on the ground that you're walking on. Like, how many bugs are here? What different types of grasses are there? Is there long grass? Is there clover? Is there a multitude of different species of stuff that I'm walking over? Is it all the same? Because if there's a bunch, if there's diversity, probably going to be better for the bugs, probably going to be better for the birds. If it's all the same, probably not going to see a lot of turkey sign there. Now, something that we haven't found yet, which is a big one, because you get birds, especially this time of year going into early season once it opens, is that these toms are getting hens frequently because the hens want to breed. And hens they can hold up to 28 days of semen before they actually choose to fertilize an egg.
They can choose?
Yeah, they pick and choose based on what's going on in their environment and the weather. So that's one of the interesting things about turkey. But as you're going through that stuff, just keep in mind that that's what these birds are doing. That's one of the things that makes them turkey. And as the toms are henned up right now, I woke up at 3 o'clock, got to my spot by 6 o'clock, haven't heard anything gobble. 10:30 might be your time, which is nothing wrong with that. That one. Right in early season, which is what we're about to hit right now, I wouldn't recommend sleeping in, but if you did, it's not the end of the world. Most of the birds I've killed have been after 9:30.
Last bird I killed was at 11:45.
Yep. That 10 o'clock to noon has always been my sweet spot. We've been on gobbling birds at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and the latest one that I've killed was 2 p.m.
Yeah, I know the spot that I was at. I had a friend, she actually lived across the street from like Berlin Hunting Ground. And I mean, like literally I would wake up in the morning and I'd just walk across the street, and I was on public hunting. And I remember the one morning, I had my turkey stuff in the truck because I left all the hunting stuff in there. I didn't have my like pants. I just had my top, and then I had my face cover, and then I had my shotgun. And I remember, what was it, like 11 or something like that? Mm-hmm. And I was just like, you know what, I'll come over this weekend, but I'm not going to go out.
What kind of friend was this?
Shut up. So I remember I was taking a shower, and she came out and she was like, Nick, there's a turkey in the backyard. Because they were always like on like her yard, and they would walk to the public. They literally cross the street to the public. And she was like, there's one in the side yard right now. And I remember like, man, like I think I still had soap on me. Like I threw a towel on and I ran out, and I look out the window. Sure enough, it's Big Tom. And I'm like, nah. I'm like, man, I went in, I tried to dry off as quick as I could. I ran out to my truck, and by the time I got to my truck, he's just walking across the road. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get him. So I'm in blue jeans, threw on my top, and I threw on my face, and I was just like, hopefully he doesn't see my legs. And I grabbed my shotgun, and I kid you not, dude, I sprinted across the street where I saw this thing going in the woods. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking around. I'm trying to be, quiet. And I had my mouth called. I'm calling. I'm looking. Completely gone.
Your hunting stories are completely different from any of our... the first turkey I hunted, I was in the shower.
But, it was gone. Gone.
It probably wasn't gone. It probably was just like, I'm not making any noise until I get really far away from whatever the hell that just was.
It was the pants. It was the pants.
Who's that hillbilly running out with soap and blue jeans chasing me?
All I said was 2 pairs of blue legs running at me. I couldn't see.
I had camo on with a towel wrapped around me.
Tom's like, how dumb do you think I am? I'm out of here.
My wife wears blue jeans.
Yeah, and then after that, that was so disheartening because I'm like, he was literally right there, and I never even saw that bird. I tried. Even then, I like sat down on a tree and I tried to like put stuff around my legs to cover like my blue jeans. And I sat out there. I was out there for like an hour and a half, and nothing.
Yeah.
Now, I never heard a sound. I never saw anything move. And I started scouting. I started walking around the woods. Nothing. It was like that bird walked into a portal and just disappeared.
They do seem to do that. That's the fun and the misery of turkey hunting. I saw something recently on, I think it was Instagram or TikTok, where a guy was saying, like, you go, catch bluegill, that's therapy. You go do something else, that's therapy. You never once felt relaxed turkey hunting?
No, not at all.
No. Ruined my self-esteem.
No.
Yep.
No.
I'm a smart guy. It's like, oh yeah?
Are you?
I went
Kill a bird?
I went into the woods with high expectations and like, oh, this is nice. I'm going to go to this is my happy place. And I walk out and it was stupid and dumb things. I don't want this stupid. And so like, I obviously, like, that's what I'm saying. I have friends that are diehard turkey guys, and I have other friends that were like, I've shot them. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm like, I understand both sides. I really do. But, like, the frustration that goes into it, but, like, that's where, like, I'm still kind of playing the middle ground. Mm-hmm. Is because, like, I haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah.
Like, if I get a bird and it gives me, like, the same just, like, shakes as, like, when I get a deer, I'm in. I'm all in on turkey. But, like, if I shoot one, I'm just like, dude, that sucked. Like,
yeah.
I don't like, yeah, I did it, but like, I don't want to do it again. Like, I haven't even had a chance to like make that decision yet. So that's why like I'm still kind of doing it. Because like I don't want to like sell myself short. It might be something that like I absolutely love.
You're chasing it to see if that's something that you actually want to keep chasing. Oh, that 100% makes sense.
Like I don't want to give up yet. I want to try to experience it first, and then after that experience, if it's not for me, then it's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm never going to talk down on it, like, ever. Like, it's...
Like, he will. He will.
No, like... No,
that guy does not like turkey hunting.
Like, whatever game you're hunting, like, if it's not only, like, providing food for your family, but if it's therapy for you, if that's your escape... I'm never going to judge anybody for that. Ever. So
that's kind of where I'm at with it this year. I will probably never not turkey hunt. It's just something that I love. It's being out there. It's something different, and it's getting off out into the woods again after winter and whatnot. But I'm taking a very different approach this year. There's been, and this goes for both deer and turkey. Have you ever killed anything in a bad mood? Like when you're just in a bad headspace or you're angry about something.
That's it. Nah, you're right.
I
haven't.
Like groundhog.
Okay, yes. that poor groundhog.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like the groundhogs just completely destroy my property. So like when I see them, it's just like.
All right. Well. Okay.
Rephrase the question.
Yeah. So have you ever had a successful hunt to where you're sitting there and you're replaying an argument or something at work or something personal to where it's bringing you down personally? Like I've never had a good hunt in that kind of mindset. And when you go out, and I swear there is some kind of sense to where the woods understands that you're, I don't want to say negative energy, but you're not supposed to be there at that time.
Yeah.
So when I gave up on filming a turkey hunt last year, I was like, the cameras are what's getting me. I changed my mindset last year, and in 2 or 3 days, I had a bird on the ground. This year, my mindset is a reflection of that. I am going into where I'm like, I am married. I wanted to do that with Casey for a long time. We have a very successful career path for both of us right now. There is nothing wrong with my life other than stresses from work and, the occasional stress from personal stuff.
Yeah.
That's not going into the woods with me right now. We've accomplished so much over the past 12 months that the only thing that is going into woods with me is my gun, my call, and for right now, my camera. Mm-hmm. But everything else and a good attitude is going with me. The first couple of days of season, I'm hunting until noon, and I plan on sitting most of it and just listening. Mm-hmm. And then afternoon, I'm gonna come home, make lunch, maybe go for a run, and then take the boat out. My dad's coming down from Michigan. We're gonna do a couple of fishing days in the evenings when he's free, And that is going to be my mindset for turkey season. There's going to be a wind in my sail, and it's not desire to kill. It's just desire to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's something, you know, like I used to tell guys, you know, I was in the military with, especially the newer guys, you know, the job is like super stressful. And I try to explain to them, like, dude, they can't take home with you.
Yeah.
Like, you're letting these negative